Hey, what's up? So today I thought I'd bring you a good video on a review of an energy drink that I've used a lot in the past. It sadly hasn't been around for quite a while, say like 6 to 8 months, give or take, and that's just been due to a lawsuit that's happened in the industry, and it's unfortunately been off the market. So whenever I'm talking about it, just keep in mind that it'll be something that you can't purchase right now. However, that doesn't mean it can't be brought back in the future. But I thought I'd just kind of bring to light my thoughts on it because it was something that really flew under the radar for a lot of people that aren't in the know about it, and also people that really didn't do a lot of research on things like nootropics. And just for a quick rundown, in case you don't know what a nootropic is, it's just something you'd use for cognition, something like, say, L-tyrosine. That's an amino acid that you find in a lot of energy drinks. That's something you can actually take in isolation by itself without any caffeine or anything like that. So imagine just amino acids, herbs, things like that, or any ingredients you'd find in, say, like a pre workout or something like that. So, to kind of start off, this energy drink, I actually have a card from. Unfortunately, I don't have any cans because I haven't been able to purchase it, but it comes from a place called Adraful Labs, and basically that's just supposed to be a play on words of the nootropic compound adrafinol and the word fuel. Kind of clever. But it basically just comes from a mixture of caffeine, the stuff that comes from coffee, in case you live under a rock, and two other things, that being L-theanine, which is supposed to be a tea extract that can help to kind of stabilize caffeine and also keep it from crashing, and the nootropic compound adrafinol. So whenever the three things are mixed together, they tend to produce a very good effect of sustained energy and focus and what you may call a flow state. And a flow state is just something that you feel whenever you have one of these compounds in you and allows you to go on, say, like a 4 to 6 hour streak of just getting things done, being focused, not getting sidetracked, just just a complete and sustained kind of flow of what you'd want to do. And I do find that with regular caffeine, that is something you can achieve. However, with something like Adrafinol and especially this Adrafuel energy drink, that was something I could do way better. Just because it seems to really make you attention or give your attention a lot more drive and also give your motivation a lot more drive and keep you awake and focused on the thing you are doing on the task at hand. So basically, to put down, the energy drink would come with something like 150 milligrams of adrafinol, 100 milligrams of caffeine, and 100 to 75 milligrams of L-theanine. I'm a little rough on what exactly it was, but 150 milligrams of adrafinol came in the white can or the endurance can that had a candy apple flavor, and then for the caffeine, it was at 100 milligrams in the same flavor, and then 75 milligrams of L-theanine. Now, with that said, I didn't think the flavor was all that, just because it's a very tough compound to be able to bear the taste of just as is, and especially when you put it in something like a drink, it tends to be a little bit more difficult to really get the flavor down and not have it taste like, I don't know, an antibiotic or maybe like a protein powder whenever you first take it. It's something that you do eventually get used to, but unfortunately, it takes a little time for your taste buds to get used to it. And in comparison to something like a energy shot, say like a Red Line, or possibly something like Bang, or a pre-workout like Redcon One's Total War, this one would actually take somewhere between 30 to 45 minutes, or even to an hour to fully metabolize before you really felt the effects of it. But at the same time, after said hour, it would just kind of kick off and be just this long kind of flat line of a good energy boost and you'd notice it would stay there for longer than your typical energy drink. Even ones with, say, like 300 milligrams of caffeine, they definitely would energize you, but you'd kind of feel it start to peak and then fall after around the 3 to 4 hour mark. But with this one, it would stay with you all day, especially if you had two. That's when it would really give you not just energy boost for feeling more awake and focused, but you would feel like you could just dominate whatever task you are because you just feel a lot more explosive energy, which is something I definitely enjoyed. If I really had something to knock out, I would definitely take two. Say if I was driving to a family's house or something like that, that was 8 to 10 hours away, I could definitely take one or two of those, and I would just be focused on the road for a good 8 to 10 hours, and I wouldn't even need to stop for anything like food. But of course, the body still needs energy, so I do that. But with that said, that's the endurance one. They did have another flavor that I never got around to try because at the time I bought the 6 and 12 packs I bought from them, they weren't making it, and it was a oatmeal flavored coffee called Cafe, and the levels in that one were a little bit more tame, whereas they had 100 milligrams of caffeine in the endurance flavor. This one only had about 75 milligrams of it, 125 milligrams of adrafinol, and I believe they stayed at 75 milligrams of L-theanine. I did find that the levels in that were definitely a little bit more tame, especially because it was a coffee flavor. So you may expect, just from your association to the taste of coffee, that you will feel energized. You just won't feel like you're down to pre-workout. You'll just feel like you're downing your average coffee, which is fair enough. I can't really speak on the flavor to that because, as I said, I never really tried it, just because it wasn't available. But it did look very promising. I even did like that on there. It did seem like they tried to make that in more of an enjoyable flavor because they may or may not have known that their original flavor, the endurance, the apple flavor, wasn't the best because it, even though it did have somewhat of the taste of an apple, it didn't really mask the taste of the nootropics, which unfortunately was the case. But you can always make everything taste like it's soda or anything like that. But with that said, I do have another way that I do use nootropics such as adrafinol. Adrafuel was just my introduction to that, and I did want to kind of branch out, not just on here, but also kind of in my personal life, just to find exactly what all was available with something like that. So with that, I'll be going ahead and posting another video on what adrafinol is, my review on it, whether it comes in, say, like a powder or a capsule form or something, or another state in which you can take it, and what the effects can be expected from, and also what can definitely help with it. Say, like with Adrafuel, the energy drink, if you were to take that, the caffeine and the L-theanine would help to kind of boost and stabilize the adrafinol, along with the caffeine itself being stabilized by the L-theanine. So it kind of works hand in hand, kind of like a parallel or an overlap. But with this, I think that it was a definitely a good product with what it did. You felt like you could really do anything. You felt like you could, um, as I said, drive 8 to 10 hours. Felt like you could learn a new skill, something like that. You just feel a lot more motivated and a lot more kind of you felt a lot more drive to be able to do things that you wouldn't normally have the energy or the focus or the motive to really do. But I thought it was great when it was available. Unfortunately, in 2023, there was a lawsuit filed against two places, that being Nootropics Depot and Centera Bioscience, by the FDA. And that kind of shut down for other manufacturers the access to adrafinol through adrafinol vendors. And that kind of undercut the company's ability to be able to manufacture their drink in both flavors. So, right now, as it stands, the company really isn't operating Well, I shouldn't say operating. They aren't really operating and selling the drinks anymore. Their website's still up and still shows off all the things that they were selling, that being the two energy drinks, but they're not really selling anything past that because it just says sold out on their webpage for both of the flavors. But that being said, I do think there was a lot of promise in this. Unfortunately, it just kind of came to a dead end due to factors outside of their control. So, here's to hoping that they could possibly start selling more in the future. But right now, as it stands, they're in somewhat of a hiatus due to those circumstances. But be that as it may, I will still be showing off another thing for Adraful and other nootropics in the future. I'm not just going to focus on Eastgate and stuff like that. I'll be trying to branch out a little bit and also hopefully get a better equipment, stuff like that. You know, but anyways, go ahead and stay posted. I'll be uploading another video that'll show off a draft from another source and also be describing the effects and what can be expected from just not just taking it in an energy drink, but also taking it in a capsule. Anyways, this is Chet Chaser signing off.